Greetings, I'm Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman. The book that I will be reviewing in this video is a book on numerology. And I've been a big fan of numerology for, maybe 20 years. Numerology, astrology. I used to do my chart as far as it's not just your birth date, but your name has a vibration and has numbers to it. And so I did this a long time ago, and I had to kind of got away from it, but I understand the importance of numbers in our lives. It's in our lives every day, symbolically, whether we realize it or not. And I recently came across a great, not just a great book, but actually a great and talented numerologist. And he is going to actually be a regular on my radio show on Tuesday evenings, Spiritual Insight. And he's going to be the special guest every third Tuesday of the month, so every third show. And his name is Michael John Fierro. And so be sure to check that out. It's Spiritual Insights, Tuesday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And so I had a reading, actually, a name reading, a numerology reading from him. And I was actually just blown away. We think that we know a lot about ourselves, and it's great validation when you have a numerologist, an astrologist, a psychic, a medium, someone else, someone who's very intuitive, just validate the what you already know. But it helps you to understand yourself too, because there's a lot of things that we may forget, we may bury. I don't say remains hidden, but just kind of, we do that. We get distracted. And so I totally want to recommend his book. This has got to be by far the best book on numerology that I have ever read, and I have read many. And his book is called You Know Your Name, Look Up Your Numbers. You know your name, look up your numbers. This is the back, looks like, with his photo. All right. And again, this is Michael John Fierro, F-I-E-R-R-O. And, of course, all the information is going to be at the bottom of the video. His name, the link to his website. And you could go to his website and order the book. You can also get it from other sources as well online. But I highly recommend you get it directly from him. When you get it directly from him, you get an autographed copy. So yes, I have my autographed copy because I got it right from him. See? Yay! Get it autographed. It's autographed, and also he sends you, no extra charge now, his DVD when he was on Spiritual Exploration, the Staten Island cable TV. It's his TV show that he was a guest on. So you get that as well for you to view. And of course you get your chart or your name chart. He will write your birth name out, and for most of us who's had name change, and I say women because we're the most common ones when we get married to change our name. So he takes your birth name, and he'll probably take your married name, and he'll run it side by side and see how you have changed. And we may not even realize how much just changing your name does affect you. But it does. And because we also, even though we know change is a part of life, sometimes it happens so subtle that we don't really embrace it all until we sit back and look back on it, reflect on it, and it's like, wow, that is so true. And so I really enjoyed this, and I wanted to share it with everyone, and want you to be able to enjoy it as much as I have as well. And even if you haven't had your name change, it doesn't matter. It's get to know you. Each letter in your name represents a number, I should speak. And so this is how you do the numerology of your name and your birth date. Okay, so that's what he uses. And he shows you how to do this yourself. I liked having the session with him because I got the chart. We went over it together. And even this book is a reference to go back as well. Even if you do not have a session with him, everything is in here. And he explains it very, very well. Very detailed. Really so. And so it's very interesting. Just like astrology, there's 3 aspects of you in astrology, which is your sun sign, your rising sign or ascendant, and then your moon sign. And interestingly, in numerology, there's 3 aspects of yourself as well. And that is the, let me grab my chart real quick. I know like a couple of them right off the bat. Sorry, I should know this. Soul urge, your personality image, and then your expression. So, and this pretty much is right in line with astrology, in which each one represents. When I get a book, I love to grab highlighters and pens, and I'll jot notes, highlight some important things, and and you will be doing this with this book too, because there's just so much information. And then from your birth date is your birth path, and he goes over that and explains that. So he helps you with your name. He helps you totally understand what more about your personality, probably than you want to know, that you maybe don't want verbalized. But it's good for us to know this. It helps with our healing. And it goes over like what our personal years are. Each year, of course, is known as our personal years, and he helps you to understand or to know which is going to be more beneficial for you. Most of us know, like, oh, if we were to look back and so this particular year is a challenging year. Oh yeah, we know that. We can relate to what was a challenging year, what was a very good year, and so this helps too. Just beyond the normal, should I say? Okay, let's numerology of your name and of your birth date. I love how he takes it to all aspects of your life and who you are, and talks about things that others may not go into. And what do I mean by that? What do you mean, Tiffany? I love chapter 14, Numerology and Sexuality. Sorry, fingers. Sexuality. Absolutely right. So it's right on. It really is. It's great. And it's nothing dirty or bad. It's part of who we are. It's a beautiful, beautiful aspect of who we are, and a lot of times it's misunderstood. I also like chapter 15, house numbers, and it's talking about resident numbers, your address. All right, the numbers either it's on a house or apartment, and it's really great. It talks about the energy from those numbers, and when you take the digits down, like the house we live in now, I would say the address is 23, so 2 plus 3 is 5, so the house is a 5 vibration, a 5 energy. You can look that up. It's really cool. Do that with yours. Any numbers that you have, you add them all down to a single digit between 1 and 9. All right, and all of it's explained in this book. Everything is in here. It's very, very explanatory. All right, chapter 16, the practical uses of numerology. There's a lot of uses for numerology in there. He gives 10 practical uses. All right. Self-awareness, number 1. I like that, self-awareness. 2, interpersonal relationships between a couple or a family relationship. 3, business relationships, where an understanding of business partners and or potential clients or associates would be necessary or beneficial. 4, as a tool in the realm of educators, so teachers, counselors, and administrators may better understand the children they are teaching and molding. Absolutely. 5, understanding the cycles of life and the influences that are at play, and using these cycles to maximize individual projects and efforts. 6, understanding the timing of events and taking that information to use it to your advantage to gain maximum individual projects and efforts. Number 7, to determine conducive and supportive colors to be chosen in the home, and to choose clothing to maximize a vibrational effect and presentation. Colors, absolutely. Number 8, names and colors for business enterprises. Your logo, your trade name, etc. So the business is vibrationally presented at an ultimate effect. 9, an insightful look into yourself that results in a higher degree of self-awareness and understanding. 10, insight into potential health issues are designated by the chart, which allows the individual opportunities to avoid or circumvent such issues. So it is very, very beneficial. Like I said, numbers are everywhere. Symbols, symbology. Whether we look at, like I said, colors that it has a vibration. Everything with a vibration, it has like this number frequency. So it's very, very powerful. Also, what I like too is chapter 18 goes over universal years. Universal years. He starts with the year 2009. So you can go back, and he describes the vibration, the energy of that year, and kind of, oh yeah, yes, I understand that. So from 2009 up to current 2016, and he goes into great detail about this year and what it holds. And this is a very powerful year for us, especially in the United States, with the presidential elections, and not just the United States, but globally and universally. So I highly recommend you get this book and read all the wonderful foresight into 2016. And this is based upon the number and the vibration of the year. And I love how he also lists some important events that have taken place during previous number 9 universal years, because 2016, when you add it up, is a number 9 vibrational year. So, and he lists going back. My dogs agree. Starting at 2007 and going back, to like 1962. He gives very important years and highlights just what had happened during those 9 years. Like a lot of wonderful, wonderful information above and beyond any numerology book I have ever read before. And even in the appendix, he has provided, I feel, let's take this a step further. He has foreign alphabets so that not everybody's name is in English. Here's just a little sampling of some of it. So, your name is in Spanish because you want to use your birth name. So if you have a Spanish birth name, an Italian, a Hebrew, he just goes on Swedish, Greek, German and French use the same as English. But it's very important to know that. And I think that's wonderful. Really helps you a lot to understand and to know who you are. And I highly, like I said, recommend this book. You will make it trying to get it straight. And you will treat it like it's a very valuable resource. Absolutely, a reference book that you will go back to lots and lots and lots of times, especially as you're working out your name, your business name, and if you're right at the time where you are just getting into business and are toying with several names, here you go. This is great. You can find out which name would be so much better for your business to match your intent, because you want to be successful. You want to make sure that your intention is vibrationally matched and equal. All right. So check that book out, and his website is his whole name, michaeljohnfierro.com. So be sure to check his website out. I will put that link down the bottom of the video. And thank you so much for tuning in for this edition of Book Review. Book Review with Goldylocks, Temple of Healing with Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman. However you want to call it. But I hope you enjoyed this book review. Many blessings to each of you.